Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. The Rams had started fast when they got a touchdown to go ahead 7-0 on a 4th and 1. Added a field goal to make it 10-3. It was 10-3, and then another fumble by and another sack to Sam Darnold for a touchdown, 17-3, as Vikings quarterback fumbled, and 24-3. And the Rams only scored one field goal, but it was over anyways. 27-9. Rams will beat Sam Darnold last year, and it'll be on to J.J. McCarthy. For the Vikings, that might be inevitable now, but we'll get some news on that. Let's look at the playoff games again. On Saturday will be the AFC Championship. It'll be the 1-seeded Chiefs to host the 4-seeded Texans, 4:30 ESPN. 1 NFC Lions, 6 Commanders, 8 o'clock Saturday night. Sunday games, 4-2 Eagles, 4 Rams, 3 o'clock 2 Ravens. In college basketball, Mizzou beats Florida. Mizzou was one of those teams on the bubble. Florida was number 5, and they had just lost one game this year. Mizzou led throughout. In fact, led by 16 and got it down to 3. Did Florida? Florida got it within 1, but that was a desperation heave. And Missouri, every time they got down to 3 or 1, Missouri answered. Florida came into the game favored by 10. Missouri wins 83-82. Florida was favored by 10.5. AU has a tough one in Iowa State on ESPN2. Players to watch out for: Hunter Dickerson, DeJuan Harris, Zeke Mayo, KJ Adams. Iowa State's player to watch out for: Curtis James. Iowa State is favored by 5.5. Tip is at 6. That's Sam on Sports. Sometime this week, we'll talk about Jim Trayer, who killed his wife and him, the story behind the CTE of his scanning. In a widely expected move by the New England Patriots, have hired Mike Vrabel as their head coach. After firing Gerard Mayo, Vrabel's prior coaching job, it kind of seemed expected they would hire him. Vrabel's prior coaching experiences, in which he went 54-45 seasons with the Tennessee Titans that also included a 2-3 in the playoffs, was appealing to the New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Prior background of Vrabel playing career: Kraft had former front of row to seats in Vrabel's leadership playing career, and that's opposing coaches, and who had struck with the New England. It doesn't hurt that Vrabel has Patriots Hall of Famer who spoke glowingly about the organization team. How does the quarterback Drake May? One of the top questions will be, what will Vrabel do with the offense for Drake May, and plans to bring in his own offensive coordinator. So what will May likely be playing in a system that this is a rookie season under Alex Van Pelt, and will the head coach position coaches stay the same? It's significant. Many credit Van Pelt with a quarterback coach, T.C. McCartney, for his development and helping refine his footwork. After starting 26 games in college, Drake May tasted some of the different systems in the NFL. That's what they're giving him processes for Drake May. Processing where he met with various teams and has noted that some have a higher degree of difficulty than others. Responsibility placed on the quarterback. This could be a good time for the coach that approaches As an organization, the Patriots have grown into exceptionally since the GM hire has never been more important to complex the head coaching. But there is no doubt that Vrabel has a solid head coaching, his strong defense, and overall roster strength and time in Tennessee is a tremendous testmate on the return to New England. Also comes with the Rossi feelings as a successful player, and that how eliminates Bill Belichick's system while also adding Vrabel spin from his time outside of. I have questions with Mike Vrabel. We'll find out how he does with the offensive staff and if he can mesh with the Patriots' personal executive, but his hiring dramatically floors the Patriots team getting back at it, Solosky says. I would give the hire a B+, but you better get it right if you fired Gerard Mayo. To get it right with Mike Vrabel, you better get the hiring right. You just hired the guy for just one season after out and out for Gerard Mayo. You got to get a good play caller for Mike Vrabel, and you have a good defensive guy. I would still think need help with the defensive coordinator job, but it usually works with two guys. The one thing I hope for is not tarnished his name if he's not successful as a head coach, and that being Mike Vrabel. You guys got your guy, Patriots. We'll see how it goes. That's Sam. Here's more on schizophrenia. That's Sam on Sports. Looking at the social house's impact, schizoaffective disorder is schizophrenia is a mental health condition that shares similar symptoms, treatments, but are only specific to criteria to go. The main difference between both conditions is presence of mood and disorder. With treatment, a person can generally see improve their quality of life, either condition. However, the diagnosis can be challenging for other conditions. To me, which is worse or which is better is not matter in this article. They are both equal. They are both taken as different disabilities. They are both treated as different. It's not a matter of life, which is worse, which is better. You learn that pretty quickly. One thing that makes it harder is you do have to manage for schizoaffective is antidepressant antipsychotic medication or antipsychotic medication. I'll give you a list of those antipsychotic medications following here. Also following here, antidepressant medications. I want to get this done at some point, discussing.
Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, what is the difference between schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder? So let's start with schizophrenia. In Criterion A, in the definition for schizophrenia in the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, there are 5 symptoms. 2 or more of the symptoms need to be met to be diagnosed with schizophrenia. Now, of course, there's other criteria as well, but I'm just talking about Criterion A. So these 5 symptoms are delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, grossly disorganized or catatonic behavior, and negative symptoms. Now again, 2 or more symptoms need to be met, but one of those symptoms needs to be delusions, hallucinations, or disorganized speech. The signs of schizophrenia need to be present for more than 6 months for that diagnosis. Now moving over to schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder has the same criteria as schizophrenia, except we add this major mood disorder piece, this major mood episode. And this would be something like bipolar disorder. So let's look at the 4 criteria for schizoaffective disorder. Now again, the full criteria for schizophrenia needs to be met to start with. So starting with Criterion A of schizoaffective disorder, now this can become a little confusing here as well because criterion A of schizophrenia is different than criterion A of schizoaffective disorder.